Howdy, y'all.
I'm Leslie.
I'm Laurie. Welcome to
Sumo
Kaboom,
where we talk about all things sumo.
That's right. And this week we are talking about a collaboration that we did with Silver Sound Studio called Sumo Studios called Sumo Chicken.
Sumo Chicken.
And you're also going to get to hear about it from Cory Choy.
Yes.
Who is one of the people up in New York City editing all of this together for us and
team
making
edits. It's a multiple person project up there.
Yeah.
Still don't know why they love to work with us, but they do.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. So they have helped produce these beautiful little Sumo Chicken stories that you will get to enjoy.
Sometimes our podcasts are stories and we just kind of dabble with sound effects, but they create oral atmosphere.
Oral.
Yeah. And make
Not
it
oral.
They make it something better than we could ever dream of making.
They're sound designers. They're the real pros.
Yeah. But before we talk to you about all that, before you get to hear Cory,
let's do a news flash. We have the official dates for the London tour. It's going to take place at the Royal Albert Hall, I believe, in London, October 19th through the 25th. So Kita Nawaka was brought over and to London to do a little press conference.
Photo shoot. Photos are awesome.
Yeah, so fun. It's a little mini competition, and Hakaku said, I think he won it 31 years ago, whenever the last time they were there, I don't know. And he had to do a speech in English afterwards. So he said that it was a very nerve-wracking week because if he won, he had to be prepared to speak in English, which I am all about. If I got Hoshoryu trying to just make his way through a little tiny sentence in English, I would just be it would just tickle me pink.
When Tokushoryu looked at me and said, "Go," I was thrilled and sort of horrified at the same time because he was telling me to go away, but he said it in English, so I just loved that.
Yeah, his tone was he lacked some
go.
Wasn't the most courteous of tones,
just go.
But he does know go. And Hakuho knows picture.
Picture?
So, yes.
Just like that. Is that really high voice? Picture?
Also, I mentioned this before, but Sumo is going to get another tour guide, and it is none other than Konishiki. January 12th through the 26th. He has various dates. He's going to be going to the sumo tournament, and you would be able to watch sumo with him like we did. And I think it includes a dinner afterwards. Anyway, it is a legit baller type of experience. So if you are going to be in Tokyo in January and you want to see the tournament and you want to see it in the most baller way, you need to reach out to info@kp-inc.jp. That is info@kp-inc.jp. And inquire about getting on the calendar for one of those dates. But he just is an amazing person to just spend time with.
Yes, he is. Inspiring as hell. So
this
if
is your
you're there,
opportunity,
go.
Sumo fans, to hang out with a legend. And you know what? The last bit of news is just the long list of everybody who's out of the winter tour. And that is Kirishima has right wrist injury.
Well, that makes sense.
I think
because of how he did it the last Basho. That makes sense.
Asakoryu has a herniated lumbar disc. And then Takaru Fuji has cellulitis in his lower right leg.
Takeru Fuji or Takara?
Takeru Fuji. So that's fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring on none other than Cory Choy, who I've known for quite a few years now, and he is just an absolute delight. Cory owns Silver Sound Studios in New York City. He is such a character, by the way. Please enjoy this interview. It's about sumo, but it's just about this project, and just enjoy Cory as much as we do.
I just want to say it's really nice to meet you. This is Laurie.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi.
Have we never clean-feeded or phoned before?
No. You've always just been a person living in the void.
Oh, I just feel because I've listened to you speak for so many hours about sumo that I just know you already.
Isn't that not the weirdest thing. Like, I think it's the weirdest thing because people
I just
do
assumed
know.
we were friends.
Yeah. People drop
We
all
are.
kinds of things about like our life, and I'm like, what?
That's what happens when you're a sumo celebrity.
Oh,
Oh, that was so good. No one has ever made that joke, and that is so good.
that's because Cory is a dad, and that is 100%
That was a
in the
dad
book
joke.
that you got when you became a father. That these are the types
Yeah.
of jokes you're going to be making.
And I'm Jewish. I got a Jewish mom, and ever since it's just nonstop. It's the Punderdome in my house.
Thunderdome.
Love a Thunderdome.
Do y'all know each other through improv?
No, I'm terrible at improv.
What?
I'm very bad.
I
at
don't
it, yeah.
believe. I don't.
I don't believe that either. After
No, this is
Sumo
all
Celebrity.
scripted. I have a script up right here.
All the sumo puns you could think of.
Sumo celebrity as quickly as possible. That's all I got. It's just a list of one.
Cory and I got to know each other because we have a mutual friend, Nikita. And Nikita knew you all, I guess, from college. I had this kind of wild hair, this kind of crazy brain idea. And I shared it on the way home from an improv show with my friend Nikita. And I said, you know what I want to do? I want to do this thing called like a podcast, but like I want to do it for kids. And I know that there's like not a network or anything like that. Like, I don't know why I want to do it.
Was this in the 1980s?
I swear
Were
it
you
was like 1987. But like, it was literally before podcasting took off. There was no way to get my podcast out besides YouTube without visual, like at that time. So Nikita was like, let me introduce you to some college friends of mine. I think that's enter you.
I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Neither one of you knows? You
No,
were
well,
Well,
just-
we were in this old shop with like a bunch of antiques, and there was this guy in back, and he wanted to sell me this cute little creature, and it was Bedtime Stories by Leslie Collins.
That is true.
Oh.
So I raised money, and then the team at Silver Sound, which is Cory's company, Silver Sound Studios in New York, they gave me kind of like a friends and family rate.
Nice.
Because they're like a big time professional sound design studio, and I was like just a dumb improviser.
Big time professional.
Big time professional.
Dumb improviser.
No, you had a building. You had studios. I mean,
We had a building.
You did. You did. You still do. And
We still do. We're in this building right now. Yes.
I know. Cory and Robin were in that creative garage band, whether they wanted to really be or not.
It's the absolute best. Bedtime Stories remains to this day. Even though Robin and I have had our own sumo match, and he's now off in doing his own things, very, very happily, actually, with the Leviathan Chronicles, I believe.
Oh, amazing.
Still in the narrative podcast world. So even though we're not connected, we both loved, and I still do love, and I'm sure he still does love too, even though he wouldn't admit it to me because, we had our sumo match. But Bedtime Stories remains one of the things we feel most connected to because your dad's crazy and we love him.
I know. Our dad did podcasts, like he narrated it. So it was my idea to have real people tell real stories to real kids in the room, improvised, and then to add improvisers and a sound design onto it. So y'all stepped in and added like the most amazing lush background of this audioscape that was crazy.
Galloping
Yeah.
Galoot is almost like a prequel though, right? To Sumo Chicken episode 1.
I feel like it kind of is. It's so funny. That podcast I ended up licensing to finally, and I don't even know how I got into this, but I licensed it to a children's network. And then like a year later, they were like, we're going to develop more of these. We love these. And then a year later, they changed teams and they were like,
Who are you?
who are you? And also all of your episodes have guns in them. And I was like, okay, yes, but my father did tell the story and he grew up in the era of Westerns and shotguns and things like that. So that story is delightful, but it does mention some guns. And so that was the end of Gallopin' Galoot.
Oh,
Who are you and what are you doing on my network?
Exactly. They were like, and then Laurie's story was like, you have some violence in there. And I was like, yeah, well, they're just stabbing each other's eyes out with forks. That's all.
But,
And that was the end of my children's podcasting.
All the
Yeah.
children's stories are incredibly violent. We just, you look at Hansel and Gretel and they're burning that witch up.
That's
you know,
right.
They are.
the wolf eating all these people, Red Riding Hood.
But that began, I will say, like our relationship in the Creative Garage Band. And then that is how essentially Sumo Chicken kind of came to be.
Seems like Sumo Chicken was born of our crazy love of sumo, creativity, and then Cory, you and your team jumped on and made our little stories about sumo so much better than we could ever imagine.
Thank you. It was really funny. We have two lovely, hot, young guys who are hired at Silversound. We need the new blood. So I was like, you know what? If the pandemic didn't shut us down, we just got to hire some hot people. And so I got Santiago and I've got Christian. And I was like, hey, we're going to work on Sumo Chicken. And they're like, what the what? And
they're like, we're here to do professional, real work. And you're like, no.
Like, I came here to make art. But the thing is, like, after episode 1, you could not have a bigger Sumo Chicken fan than Christian. He just fell in love. And we were debating about what to do for the art. And he's like, this is just not good enough. We have to go back. We have to make it better. But I do have to say, like, a true test of their mettle was Sumo Chicken episode 2.
Yeah.
They're
That's
like,
a big one.
There's no bad guy except ourselves.
Right.
Like, where's the snake? Are we learning something about ourselves too? And
exactly.
how do we do this? What does a watermelon sound like when it's not, when it's rolling? And there were just a lot of questions, and I just kept sending them back. And I was like, this does not meet Sumo Chicken standards. You're going to have to give it another round. But to their credit, they kept on going at it, and were really, really. I mean, episode 2. Wow, Santiago bringing in the news reporter.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that coming? Did you see that coming?
I loved when we heard that episode, we were like, that voice is so tremendous. That is our favorite thing about it.
It's just very funny. And
I love the narration that y'all added too. Like,
Christian, coming back.
Yeah, it's really great.
Because, we like to think of ourselves as narrative people, but you know what? Telling a story is kind of hard sometimes. You got a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's obvious. But when you're doing it for audio podcasting, it's a different thing. We learned a lot, and we don't typically write that stuff together.
We learned a lot too, because we learned what means. We learned what hakioi is, and we're slowly. I think if we were able to, by the time somebody got through a season of Sumo Chicken, really be able to understand the full workings of a sumo match.
Yes.
Or at least like half the workings of a sumo match.
Yes.
Or like, wouldn't that be just like absolutely incredible? A whole new generation of listeners like falling in love with sumo.
Yes. Well, our kids too, because these are appropriate for any age, but they're really great for kids too. And I always have a soft spot for kids, like narrative storytelling for kids. But in a nutshell, what Sumo Kaboom is, or not Sumo Kaboom, Sumo Chicken is about, but we've got a chicken. And her name is Cherry. And she is voiced by...
me.
Laurie. I play, this is Leslie, and I play a squirrel named Serenade, who is her best friend. And exactly.
Are you snapping?
Snaps.
Are you snapping?
Snaps.
That's the best thing ever. Actually, you just reminded me that this project came about because you needed a character voice for your voice reel.
That's
for
right.
your character demo.
That's
and
right.
you said, hey, can we do something really short and sweet that allows me to do a fun character voice? And I was kind of like, yeah, what do you think we should do? And she was like, I don't know. Let's just come up with something. And that is how Sumo Chicken came to be.
That is how it came to be, yeah. It was
because
my
you
own
said I
selfish
need to do,
need.
Yeah, you were like, I need to do something like...
Just to have a real...
like rodent. Yeah, so it wasn't really initially all that focused on Sumo Chicken.
Yeah.
It was focused on the squirrel.
Yeah, that's the beginning of it. And then we were like, wait a second. I think we have something for our listeners. By the way, Silver Sound Studios is an Emmy Award-winning, I have to brag on you, Cory, Emmy Award-winning sound design studio. They don't normally do a lot of narrative podcast type of stuff like like what I've done with you. Y'all do all kinds of stuff for big movies, all kinds of different audio projects. Like, give me a little highlight reel of what your company is all about.
There is no normal. We're a boutique sound studio. So we've kind of run the gamut. We've done sound for video games. We've done sound for permanent installations in New York City, though Hurricane Sandy ended our permanent installation. We were so sad. We had just put it up and it was there for like 6 months. And we're like, this is going to be here for the ages. And then it was on Governor's Island. And it was like solar powered. And we're like, we got this. And then bam! So that's gone.
And it just destroyed it?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
just studio?
No, it was this really beautiful installation with these megaphones that this artist, Susan Phillips, had developed. And it was just kind of like a welcome to the island in the morning and see you later for the end of the day sound that would kind of chime like a big old, I don't know, like cuckoo clock, but like very pretty. And, that went. And then let's see, we've done stuff like movies. There's a horror film coming out in theaters on December 27th called Bloody Axe Wound. Let's see, we've
I
done
hope
things
that
like
is featured in the trailer of it somewhere. Bloody Axe Wound.
highfalutin stuff for like the New York Times when Lincoln and the Bardo needed a virtual experience, and
Nice.
Or when tour of the national park. So we kind of do everything, a little bit of everything, and that's what's so exciting about having a sound studio. But I would say, creme de la creme, bedtime stories.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought creme de la creme was the sound of watermelons rolling down a hill.
sound of watermelons. Sumo chicken. Where I'm really going with this is we have actually, since the pandemic, started focusing, when we started with you, podcasts were not such a big thing. And then in the interim, they became this huge thing and they exploded. And then now they're all like, what is a podcast anymore? They all exploded. So we're coming at the worst opportune time ever and coming in and be like, we're going to got into this podcast world and come in with some series because so I have one about an evil duck that's in production, I guess, development, but it gets dark, so watch out there.
I love a dark duck story.
It gets real dark, and I'm working with my writing partner Kevin right now, and he's like, he's like, should we kill off all the kids? And I was like, well, if you kill the kids, he's like, because if they die, that they're going to end up in that demon world. It's kind of like hell, isn't it? And I was like,
wow.
And I was like, don't kill the kids. I was like, well, if you kill the kids, don't send them to hell at least. Let's like do something a little better. And he's
mid-world.
And then he's like, I don't know if the horror audience is really going to appreciate like some sort of intervention at this point.
Our
in the story,
audience
man.
would.
Yeah, I was like, come on, we can do something for these kids.
Probably would.
Don't send them to hell, man.
You know what? Kids die all the time at Harry Potter, and if she could do it, then you can. Kill those kids.
Kids die the heck off in Harry Potter. Oh my gosh, yeah. I was looking at this like, bam, 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 you're dead. It was just like, wow. So anyways, yeah, there's some really exciting stuff. We're doing one called ASM Murderer.
Ooh.
It's everything. It sounds like it's like ASMR and murder at the same time.
That will be a huge hit.
Also, our fans would probably like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're interested in hearing just like murder like this, then this next piece is a little scary. It's also about how online dating is the fucking worst. Sorry, farting worst. Farting worst. You can bleep me out, right?
I'm not bleeping that out.
Nope, not
it's
at all.
It's so good.
We'll just put an explicit sticker on there. We're good to go.
Dating is terrible. And so my co-writer for that, who is at UCB.
Oh, nice.
Mary McDonnell, my co-writer, who I'm going to see perform tomorrow. Yay! I'm very excited about.
But you also did Esme, My Love, right? You did. That's been an award-winning.
Oh yeah, that's that's like a mommy issues movie that I made. I spent 6 years and destroyed my life for like trying to make that movie. Just like ripped all my connections apart trying to make that movie, and then I made it. Yeah. And everyone was like, really? That's what you wanted to make? And I was like, yeah. I was feeling really good about it. I still am, actually. It is what I wanted to make. But my family has lots of questions.
Well, so does ours, because we're in a closet, our parents' closet, doing a weekly podcast about sumo wrestling. So
it takes a lot to birth creative projects into the world.
Yeah.
Like way more than people think.
It really does.
Yeah.
Here's something exciting about Esme, my love, that I found out. So I was talking to a friend, and they were interviewing me about sound design. I was feeling very, very smug because there was a 2-person sound interview. They're like, on the West Coast we have Randy Tom, head of Skywalker Sound.
Ooh.
And he's like talking about all the Star Wars movies he's worked on, and they're like, on the East Coast we have Cory. And I was just like, and then they just said that, and I was like I was like, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cory.
Yeah. And so they were asking me, they're like, wow, it's really brave as an English speaker for you to make a Portuguese language film. And I said, what? And I said, yeah, Esme, my love, your Portuguese language film, for Brazil. And I was like, I do not know what you're talking about. And they're like, well, no, look at the poster. So I go to IMDb, and lo and behold, there's a Portuguese language dub of my film.
What?
And my distributor let me know after I called them asking them if they had sold my movie to somebody in Portugal that they owed me $500.
Oh,
and
my God. They didn't even tell you?
I was just like, wait, first of all, what? You sold it? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, they dubbed it? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, you sold it for $500? And they were like, no, we sold it for like $10,000, but we spent $9,500 selling it, so you get $500. And I was like, what? What the what? Did you have fun with that $9,500? And they're like, yeah, we got a flight to Brazil, a hotel, and I was like, you didn't invite me? Anyways, that's just like other baggage. But I am kind of excited because at least 3 people have heard my movie in Portuguese, like whoever that dude's mom is, and like probably him, at least half of it. But yeah, no, it's funny because people kind of ask me, what do I normally do? And I'm a pretty goofy guy, and my feature film that I spent 6 years on, there's no humor. It's just like there's maybe like a little bit of humor, but like kind of like, it's just straight up straight up tense moment with mom. It's just a little girl and her mom on a camping trip, like for 1 hour and 40 minutes, but there's something really messed up that you find out, and it's like a slow burn. And I remember my little nephew was watching it, and he's like 8 or 9 at the time. And the little girl who stars in it, by the way, absolutely phenomenal. 8 or 9. She's really a find. She was when she was in the movie. Now she's like 14 because it took me so long to finish the movie. But my little nephew's like, is something going to happen? Is something going to happen?
Oh,
is
no.
anything going to happen? And then 40 minutes in to the screening in the theater, he just goes, I have to go! I have to go right now! We're leaving! And he just like runs out of the theater because he just could not take the tension. Oh. And it wasn't because he was like bored, terrified! And then left.
And that's the kind of art that you make.
And that's what it's like hanging out with your mom.
Maybe this is just a piece that will connect to some people. You make art, and then you're like, I don't know how this is going to be received, but you know what? You'll find your group of people, tortured people, like our group of people all over the world that find us, and they'll love it, you know?
The overlap between the Sumo Kaboom audience and the people who have mommy issues, it's going to be huge. We're going to do something. But what I was going to say actually is, so we have a wonderful host for our Silver Shorts podcast where Sumo Chicken lives. His name is James Brown Orleans, and he's one of the longest running in a single role performers on Broadway right now.
Wow.
If not the rest. He has been playing Bonsai the hyena in The Lion King on Broadway for over 22 years.
Oh my gosh.
And we're so lucky to have him as a host. And I was like, James, what do you think about Sumo Chicken? And he's like, what do I think about Sumo Chicken? And I think he was feeling particularly whimsical for episode 2.
He did a little intro for us.
You're gonna get to hear the intro. Everybody's gonna be like, we're surprised by the intro every time he does it. So every little short gets a little intro from James. That's our little fun format for this show, for the Silver Shorts show, which Sumo Chicken is part of.
Amazing. Now, we will play these probably at the end of the episode, but tell us about the project or the contest that you're having, because we have 2 episodes of Sumo Chicken number 2, and then we're working on 3. We think. But we are going to have a Sumo Chicken 4, and we want that to be an audience idea.
Yes. We are in love with Sumo Kaboom. We're in love with the Sumo Kaboom audience. And we're very excited to see if you all can help form episode 4, right?
Yeah.
And so what would they do? The script should be somewhere around, they don't have to be exactly, but somewhere around 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action. Like, how long is the longest sumo match?
The longest in history.
Well, they can go.
They can take breaks.
Yeah, they can take breaks. So,
ooh, wow.
in fact, we just saw this year. We saw a match where they took 2 breaks.
What?
So it must have been at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, most of the matches are under 30 seconds.
Yeah, most of them are super short.
But occasionally you get a long match.
You get 2 guys who are very evenly matched, and they have it becomes a stamina battle at that point for a really super long one.
So imagine an episode being like a very long sumo match, and it needs to incorporate sumo terminology, right? Or culture.
Yep.
Or culture.
But to a new audience.
To a new audience, for someone who's just entered the arena. And there should be some puns, if possible.
Yes, we love puns.
Just for me, just puns. Is that just me? I don't have to make that a requirement. Do you hate puns secretly?
No, I am all for a pun.
I love puns. I just can never think of them.
But I know our listeners, they're very good at poetry and haiku and song, and they're good at puns.
Cory, I am hoping that if we ever get a script where you see a pun that's just waiting to be taken, that you're going to call us or you're going to text us and say, hey, you missed this one. This one needs to go in.
Right. You're like, I'm a dad. I see this first. It comes through.
This is very important.
This all makes a lot of sense to a dad. Yeah, absolutely. But we want to have Sumo 4 be inspired by our audience. So under 3 minutes, or not even a script. We just need the idea.
The idea. Send your ideas in. Yeah, send your ideas in.
Not to you, but to us.
No, not to you guys.
To us.
You guys have to do all the work. Send it to you guys. Send it to L and L.
And we can go ahead and like make a Google Doc or something that people can find in our bio. They can find, here's how to submit an idea.
Us.
Or email.
Yeah,
that
Sumo
works too.
Kaboom at Gmail. Just email us.
Ooh, yeah, email that. And eventually, I mean, I would love to get, I don't know what kind of like interaction we could have. Maybe somebody wants to go at a theme song. Do we have any musicians in the Sumo community?
Oh, we do.
Maybe we could see if somebody went at a theme song. Could we do a theme contest? I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
sure.
We absolutely could. If there is a musician out there, I know we have poets in our audience.
Oh, we have musicians.
So
galore.
Not just one musician. We need multiple musicians, so it can be a contest. It needs to be like, hard fought.
Yes.
30 seconds of music for a theme song?
No.
What do you need?
It's 7 to 10.
Yeah. How long is like the opening to Rescue Rangers? I haven't seen that in 4,000 years.
I don't know if I've seen it because that's before my time.
What about Heathcliff? Or
again,
Garfield?
These are terms I know nothing about.
The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
I think of. Do you know what the first thing I thought of is the Growing Pains. As long as we got each other. That one.
How long does that go? Can you do the whole thing, please, for us?
You take the bad, you take them all, and there you have the facts of life.
A jingle? Is that all you need? A jingle?
A jingle.
What about Rugrats? How long is Rugrats?
Again, before my time.
Doug? What about
Bluey?
Doug?
Like what?
Bluey? Yeah, Bluey. What's Bluey? I like Bluey. That's
don't know.
in my time.
But we've got. But it's got to be 15 seconds, probably.
Yeah, 7 to 15. 10 to 20. Exactly 18.
Yeah.
Exactly 18 seconds of a theme song for Sumo Chicken is what we need.
Right.
9 seconds.
And you will always get we can't give you much. I can send you, jam wherever you are in the world. But
Well, whoever if we select, but maybe there's multiple, we will offer right here, right now, live and direct to you, a Silver Sound sticker pack.
Ooh.
A full sticker pack. You got a crazy lady with a guitar. You got a scary bug. You've got a...
I love a sticker pack.
You've got a turtle and a capybara who have befriended each other and started a band together.
I love it.
And then you've also got, I think, dinosaurs that are mad at each other because one's decided to take up smoking and the other one doesn't approve.
That's amazing. Okay. So
well, we have bags, so we could send someone a bag.
So I'm offering with stickers in it.
Yes,
stickers in it.
exactly.
Yep.
So it would be a prize package now.
it's a prize package.
This
Absolutely.
is getting crazy.
I know, all for Sumo Chicken, but we believe in this. Before we play these episodes, I want you to tell us about your contest, though, because this is something that anyone all over the world can take part in.
The other contest.
Yes,
The other contest. I thought we were talking about this.
Right?
Oh, I'm so sorry. My mind was all in the Sumo Chicken contest.
I want to talk about your contest because I want to enter your contest. This is a
You
huge
should.
contest.
This is a huge contest, and let me just say, we make contests that we would want to enter ourselves. So what we did before this contest is we did New York City's only music video film festival. But it wasn't just a music video film festival. It was also Battle of the Bands. And we did not hold it in a theater or at a concert venue. We held it in a bowling alley.
Yes.
And what we did was... we did 5 music videos, and then a band played. 5 music videos and a band played. 5 music videos and a band played. And the music videos played not just on this big stage, but also over every lane. The best way to watch a music video.
Fun.
At the end of the day, we took all the money from ticket sales and we pulled it all up, and we used that, and we paired the winning band and the winning director together, and we made a music video with that budget together, and we premiered at the next year's festival. So that's something that I always wanted to, like, it's like wish fulfillment. It's like, what do I want to see in a contest? So in the Sonic Dash audio storytelling competition, so sonic-nyc is the website. I'll say it like 5 more times. Sonic-NYC or sonic-nyc. What happens is very simple. You sign up with just yourself or a team. At the appointed day, which is in January, I believe January 3rd, we release a prompt. And you have 48 hours from the release of the prompt to make from scratch a 2-minute audio piece that reflects that prompt. That's it. Then you have all sorts of amazing people from all over the art world listen to your piece. The top 10 finalists get judged by this crazy panel of judges, including the guy who invented the thing that lets you listen to MP3s, which I cannot say just how much I think that is cool, because he literally, when he was 16-year-old, like, changed the world. How many people have you met and like touched? I'm like, sometimes I'll just be like, touch him, and I'll be like, stop that. I'll be like, oh, sorry. I was like, you brought MP3s to the people. So Justin Frankel invented Winamp, and he also invented the program I use every day professionally. It's called Reaper.
Whoa.
But he also invented I don't know if you remember, so there was these music sharing programs. There was like Napster and there was LimeWire, but they were shut down because they were all on a centralized server. What he invented was the idea of decentralized file sharing simultaneously. He didn't invent BitTorrent, but he invented the kernel for something called the Nutella network. And it's a decentralized form of file sharing. So the man can never shut the people down.
I love it.
And what's even more punk rock is he released it on AOL's servers, unbeknownst to them.
Whoa.
That was kind of his good... Because AOL was like, I'm going to buy you, and they bought him. And then he was like, I don't like working for the man. I'm going to release this on your servers. See ya. And it was just kind of his like parting shot. And God, it was glorious.
Wow.
So he's on the panel of judges. And there's some other just like amazing people on the panel of judges. I won't go through them because there's like 9 of them. But if you win, you get $1,000 cold hard cash.
Woohoo.
You get a $5,000 laptop. You get $6,000 or so worth of just insane audio software, including but not limited to Isotope RX Advanced, which usually costs like $1,200.
Yep.
Oh my
The
gosh.
Acoustica audio thing, which is kind of like a Scandinavian rival, but also does several things differently than RX that usually costs like $1,200. You get AA Translator 2. We're giving away a Focusrite Vocaster 2, which is like a little podcasting set. We're giving away microphones from Earthworks, the Ethos, which is normally $600. We're giving away 3 of them to first, second, and third place. It's kind of like the biggest, like I get to be Oprah for a day.
I love it. This is so amazing. This is an awesome, awesome contest.
When people win, we want them to feel like they've just won the Stanley Cup. We want to hold them in the air and throw Gatorade over them and, just, yeah.
That's what we should have done with our raffle winners.
That's right.
Yes!
We should have just stood in front of the camera and thrown Gatorade over each other. That's what we should have done.
There's always next year.
Confetti cannons.
Yes! Oh my God.
Right? That's our dream. So what we did is, and this will be our third contest. We're going to do it twice. We do it the longest day of the year and the shortest day of the year, or to celebrate the longest day of the year and the shortest day of the year every year. And this will be the upcoming winter one. This smooth, silky voice is coming to you on an Earthworks Audio Icon Pro.
Ooh.
For people with nasal voices like me, it's actually not the best. It's got a little bit of a honk, but, honk. But for the right voice... I actually do really like it. We're in the middle of reviewing it right now and I told Earthworks we're going to be very, very upfront about what we think about your line of microphones. We will not give you an easy review, but we'll be honest. And as part of this honesty, we really want your microphones to give away because we think they sound really good. And what I like about the Earthworks line, not only is it super elegant and easy to use, so it's like this, well, I have no picture right now, but it's like this like very sleek, nicely formed thing. So anyone who has a video podcast, they'd be like, ooh, what's that silver one there? That one looks fun.
It's pretty.
And you don't have to crank it all up super high. And so it just looks nice and it sounds really good. You have some of these USB microphones that just kind of sound kind of bleh. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, are you gamer.gamerville?
Yeah.
And I think this is just like a little bit of we have several professional voiceover artists who got on Cartoon Network using this microphone. Sonic-.nyc, Sonic-.nyc, and one more time, that's www.sonic-.nyc, because I do care about my studio, which is Silver Sound, and that's silversound.us, but I care even more about giving you $10,000. You audiophile Sumo Kaboom listener who just loves telling stories. You don't even actually have to be an audiophile, which is the thing. You just have to love telling stories. I just really want to give you $10,000 worth
Right.
of things.
And it could be a sumo story. All of a sudden, like, the judges are going to be like, why are there so many sumo-centric stories that were entered into this contest?
But there's going to be a left turn, and actually that was our first prompt, was left turns.
Oh.
And so if you come into it with a preconceived notion about what you're going to do, and then the prompt doesn't jibe with what you're going to do, what do you do?
What do you do?
Got to think on your feet.
I know.
I do suggest doing it with teams. Though it's funny, last time there was a 3-person team one, they're like, who's going to get the laptop? And I was like, I got to leave. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy. Bye.
I'm hoping this will reach our international fans. We have listeners all over the world. So, submit that stuff.
And we had contestants from 4 or 5 different continents last time.
Yes. All right, then, listeners, make it happen. You are such a sweetheart, Cory. Thank you for supporting Sumo Kaboom, and you've listened to us for a while, and you've always been a big supporter of me and my sister and all of our creative stuff. I still don't know why you are just so sweet to me and have always supported me, but I feel the same about you, and you're just a total gem of a human being, and we love making Sumo Chicken. So we will leave you today with these 2 episodes of Sumo Chicken. Enjoy!
Bye!
Thanks,
Bye. Bye.
Cherry is no chicken. Well, technically she is. And I guess figuratively, she was at first. But sometimes when poop hits the coop, our initial reaction is to scoot. And then a friend comes along to serenade us and remind us that we were born for such a time as this, and that this is no time to lay an egg. Oh no, this is time for Hakioi! Hi, I'm James Brown Olanes, and this is Silver Shorts. Up next is Sumo Chicken.
On the forested road of 524 Meadow Lane, there lived a tiny squirrel named Serenade who spent her days high in the branches of an oak tree. Below Serenade's tree, there was a chicken coop where her best friend lived amongst a gaggle of small chickens. Cheery was the largest chicken of her coop. In fact, she was the prized pet of a little boy named Clark.
I'm Clark.
And every year, Cheery won a blue ribbon that read chunkiest chicken at the Tarrant County Fair. But Cheery wasn't all that interested in laying prize-winning perfect eggs. No, she had big dreams. Cheery wanted to be a sumo wrestler and spent her days honing her sumo skills and building muscle and eating lots and lots of seeds and insects.
Hey, you want to do some sumo with me? It's called keiko in Japanese. Huh? How about it, Serenade? Want to do some sumo?
No, silly. I'm too small. But why don't you ask one of your chicken friends?
No. Nope. Absolutely not.
At that very moment, a dark shadow crept over the grass as the blue skies turned black. The temperature dropped and an unsettling quiet covered the coop. All the tiny chickens scurried into a corner, huddling together in fear. A foul voice hissed.
So, what do we have here?
Who's out there?
Who's making that noise?
I'm going to eat you and your plump and juicy chicken friends.
I am terrified.
Quick, everyone, up into the tree!
But Serenade, we all can't make it up there. Your tree is too tall.
Cheery, don't be scared. You can protect us all. You've been practicing for this moment for years. You are the chunkiest chicken of Tarrant County. Your size is your gift. Now use that strength and do some sumo. What's that word you always say to yourself before you practice?
Hakioi?
Well then, Hakioi!
Cheery pushed with her wings and thrust the snake away from her tiny chicken friends. She moved swiftly, jumped high in the air, and landed hard on that snake, pancaking it under her chunky chicken thighs. Cheery flapped her wings furiously and threw the snake out of the coop.
Well done! Never underestimate chunky chicken with sumo skills! Way to go, Cheery, you did it!
I think we did that together! I'm so glad you're my friend, Serenade!
Me too, Cheery!
Here, Cheery, it's dinner time.
And just as the sun was starting to set, Clark rang the dinner bell and served up a delicious meal for Cheery and all her friends, safe and sound.
I hope you all enjoyed that. The second episode has a very special guest. Now, it's actually our dad. Our mom also did it, but she did not make the cut. And I actually thought Mom's read was more natural than Dad's read. But you will get to hear our sweet, sweet father and his very Texan accent in this one. And it'll probably be very obvious who he is. But, in Sumo Kaboom, it's a whole family operation. So our parents are always game for this kind of stuff. And so, sure, they had never done any voiceover stuff ever before. And some of the voices also of the reporter and other people were brought in from Silver Sound on Cory's end. So Santiago plays the reporter, and then Christian is the narrator. And then Hollis is also the voice of Clark. If you're into watching anime through Crunchyroll, you have most likely heard Hollis's voice. So please enjoy this episode. This is just such an amazing episode.
You know what's funny is you write things and then you don't think about how hard it's going to be to paint this picture orally.
Right.
Right? So you just write something like, oh, she pushes a watermelon down the hill. And you're like, oh yeah, it happens in my head perfectly. And then you don't think,
Somebody has to make that sound.
Yeah, what would that sound like?
And they did it. I mean, turn it up, put your headphones on, or listen to it again. You're going to love this episode, because it is just stunning audio design.
Cheery shows us once again that when sour lemons pee on your dreams, you don't just sit there pretending it's rain falling on your head. No! You find that sumo chunky chicken in you, and you let that sour lemon roll like water off a duck's back, and you turn that sour lemon into lemonade. Or, in this case, suika. That's watermelon in Japanese. Silver Shorts presents Sumo Chicken 2.
It was a bright and sunny day in Tarrant County where Clark sat sulking, kicking his heels on an old stump and tossing seeds to serenade the squirrel and Cheery, a very chunky chicken.
Hey, Clark, what's got you down?
Well, Mama says if I want to play the drums, I have to buy them myself.
Oh, I've always wanted to be in a band.
Drumming is a big part of sumo. Did you know that?
No, but I don't have any money, so no drums.
Let's raise some money.
How?
Let's have a lemonade stand.
We don't have lemons on the farm.
Well, what else here makes a sweet summertime treat?
Tomatoes?
Ew.
Onions?
Ugh.
Watermelon?
Suika! That's watermelon in Japanese. Sumo wrestlers eat it to get big and strong.
Where on earth do you learn this, Cheery?
My oyakata.
That's a sumo coach. Don't ask. Yeah, let's have a suika juice stand.
Oh, Mama hauled all the melons to our farm stand down the road. It's a mile away.
I'll get some. A sumo wrestler always helps.
Hey, Clark, set up a table with a sign. If we sell enough juice, you can buy the drums.
I'm fast as lightning. Be right back.
Go, Cheery, go!
Cheery spread her wings, flapped as hard as she could, and lifted her ample figure off the ground. She flew low, angled, reaching the farm stand in no time. She crash-landed on a perfectly ripe watermelon that an old man was eyeing as his own.
Oh, wow. A chicken on my melon. How wonderful.
Cheery put her wings on the ground, crouched low, then ran forward and pushed that melon until it started to roll, right out from under the old man.
Attack!
Holy moly.
I'm taking this down the road to Clark.
Cheery threw the force of her entire body behind those thrusts and pushed that watermelon.
It's Suika, Mr. Narrator.
Sorry, Cheery pushed that suika down the road.
Supari attack!
Serenade cheered her chunky friend on from the farm as more people gathered to watch.
You've trained for this, Cheery. Supari attack! Do your brand of sumo!
Oh my, look at that chicken go.
Kids, you gotta see this.
Wow, she's doing something very unusual.
Look, she's still rolling it.
As the crowd's enthusiasm reached the boiling point, the unmistakable hum of a van pulled into view, bringing with it Tarrant County's most notorious reporter, ready to capture this unbelievable spectacle.
I'm Jose Rodriguez from News Channel KTTX, reporting to you live from Farm Road 37. I'm following a chicken down the road, and it's pushing a huge watermelon using something called a supari attack. Is that right?
Supari attack!
Excuse me, sir. Can you describe what's happening?
Yes, sir. There is a chicken pushing a 15-pound watermelon up the road with her wings. It's amazing.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, she's flying back to get another one. Come on, let's go watch.
There she goes, ladies and gentlemen, a chunky yellow chicken flying up the road. Most chickens can only fly 100 or 200 feet, but she's flying all the way back to the farm stand. I can't believe my eyes.
There she comes. She's got another watermelon. She's rolling it back here.
This is your feel-good story of the day, folks. Chicken rolling melons down the street to help this kid. What a chicken.
She's not just any chicken, she's a sumo chicken!
With every melon that rolled down the street, Clark's piggy bank grew heavier, and his dream of a new drum set seemed just a little bit more real.
You can do it, Jerry!
Clark, look, more people are coming. Yippee!
Suika juice, get your suika juice!
I'll take one, please.
Juice for you, ma'am.
I'll take one too, por favor.
That's delicious. Here's your money. Keep the change.
Look at that chicken go.
Hagio, Suika delivery, and off for more! Faster, stronger!
Cheery's sumo training really kicked in. Her speed was unmatched now, each melon faster than the last.
Vamos, pollo! Pollo, pollo, pollo!
Suika juice, everybody get some!
Do you have any words for our listeners?
I'm just happy to do my brand of sumo.
That's right, you heard it here in Tarrant County, where even the chickens are helpful. Walk, walk, walk!
As the day ended and the sun set, Clark gathered Serenade and Cheery in a grateful embrace.
We raised enough money for my drum set.
Congratulations, Clark.
In sumo, we help each other. Always.
Sumo Chicken Episode 2. Hosted by James Brown Orleans. Written by Leslie and Laurel Collins. Featuring Leslie Collins, Laurel Collins, Hollis Beck, William Collins, El Buru, and Christian Cuccinello. Produced by Cory Choy and Christian Cuccinello. Music by El Buru. Sound by Silver Sound.
And so to remind you again, if you have an idea for another episode of Sumo Chicken, email it to us. We are happy to receive all your ideas. We'll see if we can turn it into a script for episode 4.
I think.
Yeah,
because the next one is our origin story.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And we'll, send it in before the end of the year. That would be amazing.
Right.
We do have some prizes to give away.
Yeah.
We've got a prize package of stickers and a bag.
Yeah. And we'll edit it. We'll write it for you. But we just need that base idea. And we will take it and run.
And let's also remind you that the episode needs to have some sort of sumo terminology in it.
That's right.
It needs to be good for a new audience, people that don't know anything about sumo. And if you can get a pun in there somewhere,
that would be great.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And if you have a jingle idea for Sumo Chicken and you're a musician or you're a singer and you can make that happen, send those to us as well, because Sumo Chicken needs a jingle.
We'll find a way to use your jingle. Even if it doesn't make it into Sumo Chicken, we will definitely air your Sumo Chicken theme songs. So send them our way. Also, another reminder, we are off the air for the next 2 weeks, just to give ourselves a little bit of a break, to spend time with our friends and family. And we will be back at you in January. Until then, we appreciate all that you do for us, how you share us in your world, how you play bingo. 2024 has been an amazing year. And thanks always. Happy holidays.
Yeah. See y'all in 2025.
Bye.